Amber Hardman. Welcome back to NatChat. I'm here with Michael O'Neill from the National Seniors Australia. Welcome back, Michael.
Good to be here, Amber.
Now, Michael, before we went to the break, we were talking a little bit about some research that your organisation does. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, National Seniors, jointly with the Commonwealth, we fund a research arm called the Productive Ageing Centre, and what we seek to do with that is to focus on issues that will impact on people as they age, and particularly to encourage people to be able to age productively.
What kind of issues are you talking about?
Well, we're talking about a really diverse range of things. So things as diverse as we're doing some research at the moment around baby boomers and what their retirement intentions are both here and in the United States. So we're doing that with a couple of universities. We've done some research around what's called assistive technologies. So essentially gadgets that might help people to age in their own home.
And have a better quality of life.
And have a better quality of life. So then they might be things as simple as you know, alarms and warning devices that if they do have a problem they can push, as the case may be. And there's some great stories around that we could talk about as well. Through to stuff around employment. So for those folk in their 50s, the challenges that they might face in their 50s in obtaining and retaining employment. Through to some research around, we actually do a volunteers program that works in Indigenous communities, and we're doing some research at the moment that's having a look at how that program operates, its effectiveness and how it might go forward. So it's quite a diverse patch, and it's all about looking at issues as they affect the over 50s and from 50 right through to obviously with the assistive technology stuff, people more into their 80s and beyond.
Yeah, back to the assisted technology. Yep. You said you might have a nice story to tell me about that.
There's a great story of a piece of technology that I think is really would be really useful for this country to move towards adapting. And I know there's a little bit of research being done into it, but when I was in Japan, there's some technology there that enables you to program your mobile phone to, let's say your mum's, your mum lives alone. You can program your mobile phone to ring you when your mum turns the jug on of a morning.
Okay. And
then it can be programmed, let's say, morning, lunchtime and dinner time. So you get comfort from knowing, well, mum's out of bed and she's got the jug on. Yeah. So lunchtime, dinner time, ditto. And your mum is encouraged, or comfortable by it, because she knows that, well, someone knows that I'm up and active. And I guess the important part of that technology is it's not intrusive. It's not about having a camera viewing mum all day and making sure she's all right, or that kind of intrusive technology, but rather day-to-day activity, comfort factor, no intrusiveness at all. So that kind of technology is, I think, part of what assistive technology needs to be about, to help people age in their own home particularly, and age in their own home with comfort and I guess a degree of security. And
it sounds like a degree of respect as well, so still giving them their privacy.
Absolutely. So that non-intrusive stuff is really important. Definitely. You see some of the technology, for example, in the United States at the moment, which really monitors you on a minute-by-minute basis and takes away your privacy because it is so intrusive. Whereas this just hooks into that day-to-day activity of putting the jug on. And that providing some comfort to both the person concerned and their family. So a good little story, and I think in the kind of thing that we'll need increasingly to look at, given that in this country the trend is heavily towards people staying in their own home, aging in their own home. About 90% of Australians will age in their own home rather than going to an aged care home or an institution of some kind. So those little things that can help people to stay at home are really important.
Fantastic. Now, you said that you're doing some research around Indigenous Australians.
Yes.
Do you see any disparities between Indigenous Australians and white Australians, or what's the research showing?
Yes. We actually do. We run a project, a volunteers project, that provides the opportunity for seniors to volunteer to spend time in an Indigenous community by invitation with the community's acknowledgement, and it's very much about transferring skills. So the project has been operating for a bit over 2.5 years now, and it's placed people in communities in North Queensland, Southern Queensland, isolated parts of Western Australia. People as diverse as the West Australian one, two communities there, two folk who were senior managers One was a Telstra senior manager who retired, and initially the community came to us and said, we're having trouble finding someone who could be the manager for the community. Communities are 400 or 500 kilometres inland from northwestern Australia, so it's really quite a challenging environment.
Definitely.
And they couldn't get anybody to go up there and work. So they came to us and said, have you got any volunteers who could come to us and work with us for a couple of months till we find someone? So these guys eventually we found, and they volunteered to do it. One of them has been there for 6 months, the other one's just leaving after 12 months. And they've essentially given their time to these communities to help in the management of them, and done a great job as well. We've had people in North Queensland who've gone to some isolated communities up there and done health work or education work or things as diverse as carpentry or plumbing. So quite diverse skills base, as well as ladies who've gone there in some cases as partners and simply provided those really important mothering skills or family skills that are important as well. So the research has been investigating how well that project's gone, has measured the way volunteers, is measuring the way volunteers benefit from that, measuring the way the community members, the community generally benefits from that as well. And I guess as indications are acknowledging within the Indigenous culture a recognition of the role of elders and the respect that that has for elders from white Australians as well, and really some positive links that are possible there. I think the great benefit of it is communities benefit from the skills transfer. So in the West Australian case, the office staff in the community centre benefited from having a senior manager there who had a lot of experience and was able to pass that on.
Yeah, and that filters through.
Filters through to the ongoing management. So it's about transferring those skills.
Definitely.
But equally, having spoken to a range of the volunteers when they've come out from the community, they feel really good about it as well, because it values the knowledge and the experience that they've gathered over a lifetime.
Yeah.
They've been able to see it applied in a way that makes a difference. So they're actually quite chuffed coming out of it.
I'm sure that'd be very rewarding.
It's a good mix.
Yeah.
And it goes very much to the principle of productive ageing. So just because you're retired at 65, you're not put on the shelf and past your use by date. You've actually got a whole lot to contribute, and you go out there and do it. So it's a good project in terms of practically recognising what people can do.
Excellent. Okay, Michael, we just need to take another break. You're watching NatChat, and we'll be back after this break.